Stop paying people to do your work for you. If you're going to own a bike, they're easy to work on. Do the stuff yourself. Change your tires yourself. Balance your own tires. I'm going to share with you all that stuff. We're going to take this tire off right here. We're going to remove it and then polish this rim, all the aluminum areas. Show you how to do that really easy way, trick. Clean all this black up, get that all cleaned, and then re-clear coat the whole rim. You can do it all right from your shop, right in your garage. You're gonna love this. So let's get busy taking this wheel off. And there's our handy little cart. We love this thing. It wheels everywhere we need it to wheel, and you can fold it up and stick it away. The first thing we're going to do is put our lift on our lift. How's that? Yo, Julio, tell everybody where all the tools are located.
Buscar en el show más de la descripción del video para todas las herramientas.
Thank you, Julio Caesar. Sorry. Bill. Thanks, Bill. I'm going to still call him Julio Cesar Chavez Rodriguez. Jorge. Jesus. So we're going to crank this baby up. You'll notice that the bike is on the stand backwards. It's pretty handy this way. You just have to have two people to get it up there to do that. I've already let the air out of the tire, took the valve core right out of it. Pull this centerpiece out here. And I have it strapped back here so that the front will lift. Then I have a strap here that's set already, so once I get to the right height, this will go tight. But that bike isn't going anywhere. And this stand here, there's no leak down. This is the safety bar right here, and it's still loose. And it's been up on this stand for a week, getting prepared to do this video for you. So we're going to break the nut loose on this side. Now there's a spacer on one side and a spacer on the other. I marked this right with an arrow for the inside. And then you see the L and then an arrow for the inside. The scribed lines always go to the inside. When you put this axle back in, put it so your holes are running parallel to the pavement. This is actually up a little bit higher than it should be, but should be parallel. That way you don't get any whistling or anything like that. Going to take this caliper off here first. And I love my bike. I'm gonna make sure I wrap this up with an old t-shirt just to make sure. I already got enough paint chips on it from the prior owner. Some stuff I do is overkill. It's just the way it is for me. All right, so now I'm going to take the discs off because in order for me to do the right job on polishing this wheel, I need them off to break the bead. And they are marked right and left by me and also on the disc. And the rotation. Breaker bar works really good with these. This is a T40 Torx bit. One thing about working on your own bike, it makes your hands really strong and your back. And I like to mark the wheel. I put an L here. Even though I know the rotation of the tire will tell me right or left. Just so I can make it easier. But this tire is really junk. It's been on there a while. Pretty unsafe actually. It's all cracked along the bead. So if you look at the tire, you see the rotation of it here. arrow pointing down, the same arrow on the disc here. I know you guys know that stuff, but you never know who doesn't know it. But this video is to basically get everyone to start doing their own stuff and quit relying on the repair shops to do everything for you. Just do it yourself. All right, let's see if we can break the bead here. There's one. And I found the easiest thing is just let the handle rest on your shoulder when you go to move the wheel. Okay, that bead's broke. Flip it over. This is the handiest tire changing stand in the entire world. And as I said, if you go to Mr. Know-It-All, you'll see how I mounted this thing. And that's breaking easy because what I did was a few days ago, I put our special lubricant on the wheel right here, and I let it soak in and rotated the wheel until it all ran down there. And believe it or not, that stuff broke this rubber right loose. I've never had a tire this old that has not been changed in probably 20,000 miles. I bet you it's the stock tire that was on it. 19,000 miles on this tire. There's no tread left on it. Done. All right, here's the deal. You can look up underneath there. You see how the little grapplers grab the rim? You put them in the two back ones. They tighten this screw right here. She is locked down. Now I use just a little bit of our favorite soap, just a little mist. Every tire is different. You line it up. It's like that. Snug up your deal one more time. It's on there. It's not going anywhere. Now, you can use your spoons if you want, or you can not. Always use your rim protectors. Like that, Jack. We have more rim protectors. This is fun, I'm telling you, it really is. Look at that. Get my little cart over here. I'm going to step in front of the camera. Rim protector. They had balance beads in here. See those in there? Those white balls with white stuff. We're not going to be using those. All I got to do is get it up high enough. Get this rig in there. There's the beads. And we don't really have to spray any more soap on it. Done. There you go, guys. That's simple. We're going to balance it the old way, the way that we know will be perfect. All right, I want you to get a good look at this wheel before I do the Sweet Scoots overhaul to it. It's in pretty bad shape. There's no shine to it whatsoever. We're going to change that. And I thought about stripping all this off and polishing the whole entire wheel, but I'm going to just do this area right here and up here. So let's get cracking. All right, now you've got two ways you can do this. The fast way with our trick set up here, which the link to building this will be in the description along with the tools. You can do that, or you can do it the old-fashioned way with your Milwaukee and a buffing wheel. And not sure if you can see that area right there. I hit it with that for a bit, got that shiny. I could do this area right here. And we're going to, I have some leftover chrome polish. And for round areas like this, the old-fashioned way works really good. Not a bad shine. All right, so we've got a decent shine right there using the mothers on that wheel. But now we're going to try our handy dandy. This stuff is the best polish around. It'll take about an hour to do this whole wheel as far as polishing is concerned. Look how handy that is. Then I'll use the round wheel to get in that curve right here. Or I can go up and down with it like this. And you don't have to have your vibration up very high. And I like to keep a little mothers piled up a little further away from where I'm working so that I can come in and get some if I need it. You wait till you see this, it's going to look beautiful. And here in Florida, you can pretty much ride year round, so I'm missing riding time, but I want to share this stuff with you guys and gals. Because if you tried to use that round wheel, you would just keep flipping off there. Let's try this down in here. Get a little mothers, go up there and get some. Check my rag, make sure it's not wore through. Nope. It'll wear through. Then you just move it to another spot on the cloth. See, now it's wearing through. There's my plastic. Pick another spot. Get some mothers on it. When I do these curves, I'll get on that side and go up. And I like to use my old junky cheap ones. You can buy these at Walmart. Use these for this kind of stuff. Works good. Don't use your good ones. Nice shine for this area right here. Harder to control with this, but it does good in the curves. I mean, you could do it up here, but it's harder to control. And it chews it up because of the sharp edges. My favorite is right here. Beautiful. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is clean it with Old 99, get it really clean, and then we are going to clear coat it. And it's going to look beautiful. So stay tuned. All right, we're going to take our Old 99, spray it down on the top, let that dry, and then flip it over and do the other side. All right, we'll let that set puddled up on there and then stand it up and let it drain off. Then flip it over and do the other side. All right, we're at that point. It's time to clear coat this wheel. And I'm using Mama's temporary greenhouse for a paint booth. Hope she don't get mad. All right, what I'm going to do now is another fail-safe process. I'm going to spray the whole wheel down with lacquer thinner to make sure there's absolutely no grease on it. We start at the top. Then I'll tape off the valve stem before I clear coat it. So we'll let that dry. Take some of my blue towels. Wipe off the aluminum area. That'll be the toughest part for the clear to go on smoothly. Then we'll run our tack cloth off it to make sure there's no lint or anything on it. You can let it air dry. Good day to do it today because there's no humidity. It's about 65, 68 degrees. Early morning here in Pensacola. Perfect time to do this. And when you know that it's grease free when you can do this. And there's grab to it. Lacquer thinner or reducer is the only thing that'll do this. Old 99 is good for removing a good portion of it, but you need this here to do it. Lacquer thinner. I would suggest buying as much of lacquer thinner as you can get your hands on, because I'm sure they'll end up outlawing it. I'm sure you can't even buy it in California. So I'll go get some tape, we'll tape off that valve stem and we'll clear coat that. Now we're going to blow it off with a leaf blower just to make sure it's completely dry, because I'm rushing the process, which I don't suggest you do. And lacquer thinner dries up pretty fast. Let me show you the ground here. There's not a puddle down there to be had. That's how quick it dries up. Let's clear coat it. All right, I put my mask on underneath and then this over here. That keeps my bald head from getting all clear coat and shiny. Like I said, I can't wear glasses because they just fog up. All done. Once we get it out in the light, I'll show you what it looks like. Beautiful. It'll be so much easier to keep clean too. And I put a real heavy coat on. Hey guys and gals, it's Sweet Scoots here, and we are glad to have you with us. Make sure you check out our last videos. We're doing a free giveaway of a present to a young 6 or older child. If you know somebody that didn't get much for Christmas, check that video out. The link will be in the show more of the tools list there. Julio, tell everybody where all the tools are located.
Buscar en el show más de la descripción del video para todas las herramientas.
Thanks, Bill. Julio Cesar Chavez Rodriguez. He hates it when I do that, but he wants to be called Bill. So, anywho, I got some tips. We're getting ready to put the new tire on, the new Dunlop, and I had somebody mention that Dunlops wear out too soon. I can tell you this, they're softer, they grip the road better, and they're made in America. That's why we use them. Not because we're getting paid to tell you that. Now, we've clear coated this rim, cleaned it, clear coated it. It's going to be beautiful when we get it put back on, but I got a couple of tips I want to share with you before you go and mount your tires. I showed you how to remove it, now we're putting it back on. First off, these straps right here are handy for going around your wheel and looping it back through, and you can hang it while it dries. And you can actually carry it with the loop right here. Boom. And you never have to touch your painted surface, or you don't have to touch anything you've cleaned, where you want to make sure that the clear coat or paint actually adheres without peeling off or orange peeling. So that's number one. Number two, I'm gonna have to bring the camera up to share that with you. I gotta say, I really like this tire changer. It's awesome. The thing that I did to it is I took some heavy duty speaker cloth and siliconed it on there with our best silicone to keep from scratching up the rim when you put it in there. And this will really work good for you, guaranteed. Now, as you know, this series is called Quit Having Everybody Else Do the Work for You on Your Bikes. Do it yourself. If I can do it, anybody can do it. All right, so I marked the rim left and right, so I know where my left side is, which is my left side. So you place those in there first, the two back ones, and then you tighten this side. Get it so it doesn't spin. Snugged, good and snug. There's my L for left, and left would be this side here on my left side. I think we got the left thing down, don't we? Let me show another tip to you that you're going to love. It's beautiful here in Pensacola today. It's going to be about 70, a couple of days before Christmas. Merry Christmas to all of you. Now, if you don't have the advantage of having a nice hot sun, as you see right there, it's just unbelievable. Best move we ever made coming down here to Florida. So set your tire in the sun, let it get nice and warm, and or if you don't have the advantage and you're up north, then put it in the house for a couple of days. Closest heat source you have there, maybe a register or something, I'll guarantee you it makes it so much easier to mount these tires when they're warm. Okay, so here's our little arrow right here that tells me rotation is this way. So we're going to take the tire, and it's hot, and have a lot of light. We put this little rig right here, and I'm telling you, it's the best investment we've ever made. It really lights it up out here. We've got our cart here with our soap. All right, so now make sure you get your orientation of your tire on the correct way. We know this wheel is spinning this way, so we want the arrow to go the same direction. Now that part's simple right there. Don't get any easier than that. Now, the tough part is getting this part on. We're going to put our rim protectors in. We'll have those ready. Sometimes you spray it on your hand and rub up underneath the bead. That way you're not spraying a whole bunch inside the tire. And if you go to Mr. Know-It-All, you'll see how I mounted this tire mounting machine. It's pretty good. Now we take this handy little rig and we place that right there. That keeps that from coming off. Rim protector, that'll go right there. And just a guessing game, we're going to use some spoons and see if we can get it on with the spoons. It's harder with the spoons, but with this rack we can do it with the big arm if we have to. And you notice that part of the tire is not coming off there because of this handy dandy little tool right there. This is easier than you think, and I'm also going to share with you how to balance your own tire. Now we're getting to the tougher part. This is where you use your drop center. That's get the bottom bead up into the center of the rim where that drop center is, where it's lower. That'll give you the room you need to shove the tire this way. See how much easier that's going on? When it gets difficult like this, and you're at the last bit, you have to push this bead, the upper bead, down into the drop center. Okay, now we've got the tire on this far. Now we're going to loosen this up and center up our hub. And this will keep it down in the drop center. That's where you want it. I'm going to get in front of the camera on you a little bit here. This will keep the tire from coming off. Keep that tire down in the drop center. You ready, folks? You can see on this side of the tire how much lower that is. It's because I'm in what? The drop center. This tool here is priceless because it keeps that tire from coming off. And you can do any tire on this. Car tires, tractor tires, lawn tractor tires, it doesn't matter. Wheelbarrow tires. So we're getting ready to pop it on. And this handle here goes to the bead breaker handle, but it's also made for this to give you a little more leverage. And bingo. Did it. Again, that tool right there is magnificent. Aired up hooks that go into the rim from the tire changer are not between the tire and the rim. All right, we flipped it over. We're going to put some air to it, see if we can get the bead to pop up. And you can see this part here. We'll see if it pops up. Well, there it is. It popped up. You heard it, and it actually popped up from the bottom. Look at there. Brand new tire, totally reconditioned rim, wheel, whatever you want to call it. You can do it. Stop having people do the work for you on your bike. All right, I noticed that they have Loctite on the threads for the brake discs. And it's very important that you clean that off before you retorque them on. All right, cleaning the Loctite off your bolts does you no good unless you run a very high quality tap down into the holes to clean the Loctite out in the threads of the hub. Just clean up the threads, get any hardened Loctite that's in there out of there. All right, I think I'm gonna bump them up to 24 pounds just for the fun of it. At the top of the chart, 16 to 24 pounds. We'll go 24. Done. Now I'll clean it all up using a little detail spray on it. They sure look a lot better than they did. And they'll be easier to clean with that good clear coat on there. And I let them dry for about a week after I clear coated them. And there's no nicks or marks or scratches. All right, guys and gals, we are going to balance this new tire. Very simple to do. All you need is this stand. All the tools will be in the show more of the video's description where Julio told you they're at. And all you do is take your tire and rotate it, give it a little spin, let it settle where it's going to settle. The light spot will go to the top and the heavy spot will go to the bottom. There is a bubble gauge on this rack right here. All you do is level that out. Just get the bubble into the center. I'll show you a picture of it. Now, as I said, they had balancing beads in it, and it might be that why the tire wore so weirdly. Is that a word, weirdly? So we're going to get this absolutely perfect. And these stands, this one right here is the best one you can get. And it's not that much money to be able to balance your own wheel. It's got the two mandrels down here. They go inside the hub and you tighten them with a set screw. So it's coming to a rest now. And as I said, the heavy will be to the bottom, the light will be at the top. So there it is. There's the lights at the top. Take your magic marker, put a mark on the top tire, rotate it 90 degrees, take some weight. I'm going to start with 2 ounces. I'm going to take my mark, put it at 90 degrees right there, rest it on the spoke, only because I don't want to stick it on yet. Now that's a little too much. So we're going to take and cut off a 1/4 ounce at a time. Our mark's right there. Put it at 90 degrees. Rest that on there. Still a little bit too heavy. We'll cut off another 1/4 ounce. Very simple to do, and you'll get this dead on. You won't feel any vibration. All the big Can-Am racers, this is how they do it. This is the tire rack, balancing rack, truing rack that they use right here. So now we're down to 1.5 ounces. There you go. Our mark is right here at 90 degrees. Boop. That's what it's going to take to balance that wheel out. So we will try to split this evenly. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll put 3 on each side. The good part of it is they're black and they'll match the wheel. And the other part of it is that I'll clean the wheel with some Old 99 and stick the weights on and then I'll show you when I'm done. But there's our mark right there. And as you see, it stops at that point. So that's where I'll put the weights, right here. All right, and I can tell you this, I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed by any means, but doing this is very simple. It's easy, you save a lot of money. You can do it at any time you want. You don't have to wait for somebody else to schedule you, to get you in. If it's cold up where you're at right now, this is the time to redo your rims, redo them all, clean them all up, re-clear them, take the tire off, replace the tire, do it yourself, balance it yourself. All right, here's our mark. We're going to take our old 99, clean that right here. Let it dry good, and it dries fast. You guys know old 99 is the best for cleaning. And you should be able to rub your finger on it and hear this. Listen. Just keep your eye on your mark right there. This stuff sticks like glue. It basically is. Press it on good. Do that 90 degrees, see if it rotates. It does. So we need to take one of those weights off. So I just use a panel tool and you can pop one right off. Okay, now let's check it. Bingo. It was a 1/4 ounce off. Check it this side. That's it. That wheel is perfectly balanced right now. And we got it dead on. Dead nuts, as we say in the tool and die trade. All right, we've got the new wheel ready to remount and put the axle through it. This tire stand, this bike stand is amazing because you can take this panel out right here to pull the tire down. It's just awesome. But another thing is this scissor jack. I can literally crank that down. You watch the bike lower. One person, and I can get that right where I need it to slide the axle and the spacers in. Look at that. If there's any one thing you get, this is what you want. Well, there it is, finished up. And I'm pretty happy with the results. The wheel is absolutely beautiful. The wheel weights, you can hardly see them, they're right there. Perfectly balanced. The new tires looking awesome. And it's all clear coated and it's going to make it a million times better for cleaning. Very happy with the results. Can't wait to ride it. So it's that simple to do. Sweet Scoots, out.